course. This is Dr. Aisha Nazuk here. Today I'm going to cover an important topic which is often discussed in the domain of econometrics and which is the Monte Carlo simulations or the Monte Carlo experiments. This Monte Carlo simulation is often used to prove the concept of blue property. By now it must be clear in your mind by the word blue, this is actually an acronym or an abbreviation which stands for Best Linear Unbiased Estimator. So how can we find out that this property holds? And Monte Carlo simulation in a manner that I'm going to cover today will also let you see the probability distribution of the regression betas. So in a further videos maybe we can cover in detail the link with the further properties, but to some extent we will link today's discussion with the blue property as well, and we will prove that the distribution of regression betas is normal if we apply the restriction on the residuals, that is this part ui. If we keep them to be distributed as standard normal variable, then the distribution of betas will be normal. So instead of keeping these things as a theoretical concepts, let's find out the behavior using some simulations in Microsoft Excel. So without further ado, let me go to Microsoft Excel and let me tell you that in order to run this type of Monte Carlo simulation, you have to first install an add-in which is called MCSim. I will add the MCSim download link or the URL in the comment section, which you can see here as well on the screen. So I will copy this URL for your convenience, and you can download this add-in MCSim. So suppose that you have downloaded the MCSim and you want to add that MCSim add-in to Microsoft Excel. What you have to do is you'll have to go to File, and then you'll go to Options, and in the Options this pop-up window will appear where you'll have to click on Add-ins, and once you click on Add-ins you will click here on Go. So if you have downloaded the MCSim version or the MCSim add-in, you will see this option here, Monte Carlo simulation add-in. But remember that for this you have to go to this website or this URL that you can see here in the bottom of this Excel sheet, which will be posted in the comment section. So you have to download it. So once you have downloaded, only then you will be able to see this option of Monte Carlo simulation add-in, and then you will click on OK. I'm clicking on cancel for now because I've already added this, so I don't want to repeat the whole procedure as that might corrupt the Excel add-in. But you will click on OK. I'm clicking on cancel. Okay, so once you have added, you will notice that if you click on add-in here on add-in, you will see that there is a tab appearing here with the title MCSim. So this tab will be used, or this menu command will be used for Monte Carlo simulation. So let's start the discussion. Suppose that we have these two random variables, y and x. Y is my dependent variable and x is my independent variable. So what I'm going to do, as I said, that the normal distribution of regression betas is dependent or consequent upon the normal distribution of the residual part or the UI part in the regression equation. So if you click here on the residual cell, you will notice that I have generated the residual by using a function norm s inverse or norm.s.inv. So this is an Excel built-in function. You don't need to do any further effort. You just have to type is equal to norm.s.inv and then within bracket rand. That means this command means that you are drawing a random number from the standard normal distribution. right? Standard normal mean that the mean of that variable is 0 and variance is 1. So you know that the regression residual term has a mean 0 and variance 1. So if we take it in its standardized form, that is the standardized residual, they have mean 0 and variance 1. So anyway, we are using this function norm.s.inv, and then I'm using the function rand. That means that a random number will be generated from the normal distribution. So then I click enter, and you can see that there is a residual term here. So by the way, if you keep on clicking on it, you will notice that these number keeps on changing because these are random number. So every time you click on a cell, double click on a cell and press enter, a new random number is generated, and this means that you have done the steps so far correctly. Next, what you have to do is you have to find out the slope of regression and the intercept. So remember that this is our base data on y and x. So if I have to find slope, I'll type here is equal to slope, and then I'll choose the y series and then the x series, right? First I'll choose the y series and then the x series, and then I'll press enter, and this will give me the value of slope. Similarly, for intercept, I will type intercept, and then I'll choose the y series and then the x series, and then press enter. So these are my slope and intercept value for the data which is originally given. Using these slope and intercept values, I can easily calculate y hat or predicted y, which is equal to intercept plus slope times the value of x. So you notice that I have picked the value of intercept from here and slope from here as 1.4 to 1323. Then I press enter. So these are all the values of y hat. Next, what you have to do is, actually this column is quite important, so let me highlight it. Y simulated is actually, instead of using actual y or actual values of y, this time I'm going to use simulated values of y. And how am I going to simulate this? You see, notice that simulated y is a sum of predicted y plus the residual part. That means, actually, why am I calling these simulated? Because now these are, instead of these fixed y values, these are randomly simulated values, because remember that C2 or the residual part has been generated as a random number. So y simulated becomes a random number. Next, what I'm going to do is I'll find the slope, and this time, instead of using actual y, you notice that I have used the E column. That is, in the E column we have these y simulated values. So I'm running a regression keeping y simulated as dependent variable and the x variable as independent variable. So I press enter. Similarly, I'll find the slope by using y simulated as the dependent variable and x variable as the independent variable. Next, what I have to do is, actually, suppose that I want to make a probability distribution for slope. So what I'll do, I'll click on this cell which is slope, and I'll click on add in, then I'll click on MCSim, and so you can see that it's written here that the cell number F19 is selected, and you can see that F19 is this slope value in which I am interested in, whose probability distribution I want to make. You can also enter the number of required repetitions, that is, how many simulation do you want to run. By default, Excel keep it on 1000, which is quite a lot of, it's a big number, but at any moment in time you can change this value if you want to make, for example, 10,000 iterations or repetitions. It will all depend upon the speed of your machine. So if you have a good computing machine, then you can even run 10,000 or even higher number of repetitions. So for now I keep it 1000, and then I'll click on proceed. So once I proceed, you see this type of an output is produce, and you can see that my machine is quite, I wouldn't say it's not slow, it's quite good, because this repetition or 100 simulation has taken only 1 second in my machine. So you notice that there is a heading called sample number, and if you drag downward, keep dragging downward, so it mentions that the output is restricted to 100 repetitions, but don't worry, the actual background simulations are 1000, that is 1000 times a random sample has been drawn. Now you would be thinking how 1000 times the repetition has been done. Actually, if you go back to the data sheet, what the Monte Carlo simulation is doing, that like we draw a random number here, so this is like one realization, or you can say one iteration. So in the background, Microsoft Excel, by using the MCSim add-in, has done this procedure 1000 times, like generated this column 1000 times. In other words, making a random sample of size 15 from the normal distribution, and that size 15 has been done 1000 times, and that is why you can see that it's written that there are 1000 repetitions. So based on this 1000 repetition, the average value of slope is 1.422. So let's see, in the given data when we were running it, the actual slope coefficient is 1.421. So you can see that in repeated sampling, the average of slope coefficient from different random sample has come out to be 1.422, which is exactly equal to the actual value of slope if we run on this sample. So you can say that you can relate it with the property of unbiasedness, that the regression betas or the sample betas are unbiased estimator of population betas. Similarly, if you have a look at this histogram, this is roughly a bell-shaped figure. By the way, if you increase the repetition, then this will become more closer to the normal distribution. So what this histogram is telling me, that the probability distribution of the slope coefficient it can be easily declared as normal distribution. So this is what the property of normality is, a fair approximation. By running this Monte Carlo simulation, I hope that you can efficiently understand the concept of the OLS properties, that is BLUE, or best linear unbiased estimators. So thank you for watching this video. I hope that it has offered an alternative understanding of the often discussed theoretical concepts. Keep watching other videos, keep learning. Thank you once again, and I'll share my email address in the comment section. You can always contact me. You can develop a professional contact. This is your instructor, Dr. Aisha Nazok, and hope to see you soon in next videos. Kindly subscribe to my channel and keep liking and keep sharing the videos. Thank you.